my labor platform is the most progressive and aggressive labor platform I have received kudos and solidarity messages from all over the world for our labor platform that my committee helped me. But basically, I put the skeleton up and they filled it in. The labor committee filled it in. And if you look at my labor platform, it is a platform for restructuring and curing our economy today. And it's been my platform since I started. It's that we need, I'm going to coin a new term that you guys have never heard before. It's called Cindy-nomics. I coined a new term called gurgle up economics. And I'm going to reframe that to Cindy-nomics. And people have been talking about this all day today. We the people, everybody sitting in here, we need a bailout. Not the Wall Street bankers who have gotten us here in collaboration with Congress. Do you know what that's called? That's called fascism. And that's what we have just so virulently in our country today. It's corporate fascism, and that's what Mussolini said was fascism. But it's also a militaristic fascism. And make no mistake, just because we don't have tanks generally rolling down Mission or people marching in lockstep, we have fascism in this country. Militarism, corporatism, poverty, and racism. That's what we're still incredibly fighting after all these years. We're supposed to be a first world nation, and I can't leave my office without tripping over a homeless person. And Clarence was too nice. He said it's BS. It's bullshit. It's bullshit that we live in a society where Nancy Pelosi can have a mansion in Pack Heights with 2 people in her family. She lives in a mansion in Feinstein, right down the street from her. They have a huge mansion with 2 people. I don't know how many servants they accommodate, but they have 2 people. When my brothers and sisters are laying out on the streets in the filth, in the dirt, and the urine, and the feces, they don't even have the barest roof over their heads, yet she lives in a mansion. And working people are endorsing that. To me, it just doesn't make sense. And my brothers and sisters on the street aren't saying, I want to move into a mansion. All they're saying is, I want to be clean and dry and warm. Yeah. And what else do we need in our lives but to be clean, dry, and warm? This is the struggle of our lifetime. In Cindy-nomics, they would give small businesses bailout loans. Right. They would give mortgage holders who are in risk of losing their homes bailout. They would give us job programs to put the hundreds of thousands of people out of work back to work. Building infrastructure, reopening the factories that their free trade agreements have closed, manufacturing goods that are usable and positive, not for the military-industrial complex. And these would be federal jobs programs that paid not what Nancy Pelosi likes to, we raised the minimum wage to $7 and whatever, which is still not a living wage. It's a minimum wage. So these jobs would pay a living wage. To repeal the free trade agreements. And like many people have said, to repeal Taft-Hartley and repeal the repeal of Glass-Steagall, which has gotten us to where we are today. And then our gurgle up economics too would pump money into education to make Andy's job easier and to make our children want to go to school, to want to learn about life, want to learn about how to have critical thinking skills, and to repeal No Child Left Behind, to kick our military predators out of our schools, And you know, when we have free education at the state university level, and when we have single-payer health care, and when we have these job programs that pay living wages, then people like my son won't have to make a choice between going to college and being killed. And then we wouldn't have a military the size of an imperialistic force. We would have a military that defends our countries and our communities, not to be used for corporate imperialism. And Barack Obama wants to increase, and so does McCain, but some of us still think the Democrats should know better. Barack Obama wants to increase the size of our military by 92,000 soldiers. And he wants to increase a military that's already bloated beyond anybody's comprehension. And that's not used for defense. That is used for imperialism. Cindy for Congress not only wants to bring our troops home from Iraq and Afghanistan, not move them over from Iraq into Afghanistan. How much more can we ask those people to suffer? How much more suffering can we visit on the Middle East using our tax dollars? You know, Cindy for Congress saying no more. Close most of the bases around the world. The people in the countries don't want the bases there. You know what happens when there's a U.S. military base in a community? I'll tell you what happens. Crime happens. A drain on social services happens. And a desecration of the environment happens where there's a U.S. military base. And surprise, the people of those countries don't want them there. But the leaders collaborate always to kill us, to impoverish us, and to make our conditions bad. And we spend, you know, people talk about, oh, the 1% in this country owes more, the one top percent owns more than the bottom 90% of this country. But you know what? The United States of America spends more on our military than the rest of the countries combined. When I'm elected to Congress, we will have the Cindy Sheehan amendment that says the United States of America can spend no more on defense than the largest country in the world, China. And then we will have a country that is not only secure because we're not using our military to piss the rest of the world off, but our country will not only be secure, it'll be prosperous. And our citizens will be taken care of, not the fat cat people that Nancy Pelosi voted to take care of, and who she rammed that down the throats of the American people. We, the people, are the sovereigns in this country, and they don't look at us like we're children. They look at us like we're the bosses. And you know, it's time to say to Nancy Pelosi, you're fired, partner, because you do not listen to your constituents. Do you think the people of this district wanted an $850 billion bailout of Wall Street? Oh, no. And people of this district voted almost 2/3 on an impeachment resolution. People of this district, this is the most overwhelmingly anti-war district in the country. And Nancy Pelosi keeps on saying, you know what? I'm a dictator, and I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to do what enriches me and my family, what enriches my donors, and I don't care what the people of this district want. And we have to stop being abused by our leaders. There's only 535 of them and millions of us. And they're afraid of our unity. And they have a right to be afraid of our unity. Because we have the strength, we have the power, we have everything at stake. We're the ones that have something to lose. And so when we join together, kick the queen of the corporatists out of Congress, put everybody else on notice that their jobs are based on performance and not on incumbency or money, then we will truly have what Martin Luther King Jr. called a revolution of values.